I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay, so I already used the remover to remove my nails. I already filed them with my gorgeous Sheck glass file. I already pushed back the cuticles, cleaned them using this awesome tools, which I'm going to use for the application process. And then I also use my cuticle tool to get off the dead cuticle skin and the hangnails. And then I use my tweezers, which I need to clean the end of it, in my little scissors and my tea bag. And where is it? Ooh, need to put this on there. Nail glue to do a patch. So that's done. As you can see. There you go. Those two are the ones that I fixed. You can barely tell that they've been fixed, right? All right, because I'm awesome. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do with my nails. Okay, so since this is like a new set, I'm not really worried about it per se being like super wet. But I do want a little bit of stickiness. So I'm do my right hand. How do we do this? Okay, well, let's start off by actually pulling up this thing, this stand, because I think it works better that way for some reason. All right. Okay. Huh. Trying to see, like, what is it about this that just... Ah, now I get it. All right, I figure out how to do this, guys. So that is how we do it. Yay! I figured it out. I didn't know that that little handle was actually a tightener also. Okay, so what we're gonna do. All right, so this is going to be our mani. And this is going to be, we're going to use the nail strengthener. We may or may not use Orly Bonded. It's one of my extra tools that I use, but I know what I need. First of all, I'm going to make sure that this is clean. I'm just going to use one of these old Color Street alcohol swipes. Same thing with here, because I know we just used the glue on this. I do use this, one of my extra tools. This is what I use to pick off the edges sometimes. I don't need the nail buffer anymore. I will be needing my nail file. I don't think I will be needing this, but you never know. We'll be needing my scissors. Trash, fitting trash. This is one of the most important tools that you will need. This guy. Oh, and of course, this beauty here. Beauty, beauty, beauty. This is what you're going to use to like kind of push it in. Just to avoid greasy fingerprints. Now this is an X-Acto knife pin, and I might use this because of the French. So as you can see, the French tips are done like that, but they're not double-sided. I don't want to waste all of this strip, so I'm going to actually use a pencil to draw and then cut another layer here to get my thumb. So I'm going to get my thumb out of this one, then this one, and this one on both sides. I'm just going to cut it. I know I brought a pencil around here somewhere to do this, but this is just another step. Oh, here's the pencil. Told you, can't be prepared. All right, so that's all just another step. What I want to do is definitely make sure that my fingers are wiped, so you can just spray them with alcohol. Then I try to get some of that oil off your hands for now when you're doing the application process. All right, so I'm gonna cut this gorgeous glittery Glittersweet. So it is a clear, so we wanna be careful with it. Why? Once we don't want our fingerprints all up in it. So I'm going to use, so normally when you do the French, you actually do the French tips first, and then you put the overlay over it. I am actually doing something different. I'm going to actually be, sorry, like I see a little like white and I'm like, oh, I'm actually going to be putting this underneath because I want the flag to stand on its own. So that's gonna be for my thumb. I want a little bit bigger than, because I don't want to have to like stretch or do anything like that. It's easier to trim than it is to stretch, for me at least. So I'm gonna use these two. Now I do have long nails, but I think I can get away with using these one for each. So then the next biggest one is going to go for here, index, and I try to keep them in order. So that's my thumb, that's my middle, that's my index. Then this would be my my ring. Gosh, I can't think. And then this one would be my pinky. So, well, would that be my pinky? I might do a smaller one for my pinky. Yeah, I think this one would be good. I have small pinkies. So I'm gonna keep these in here. So what I like to do is usually you want to go ahead and seal this as soon as possible with a straight iron. Granted, Color Street official is that these are one-time use only, so you would do these for your nails and your pedicure and your accent nails or whatever. If you store them, they can't guarantee its freshness, but it is up to you how you store them. Now, some people just put them in Ziploc bags and in freezers. What I found works for me is sealing them with a hot iron. I have a travel one that I use. You can get a spare one. You can get a bag sealer, which is like a chip sealer you can get from Amazon. Sorry, I'm trying to put these in here. Okay. And then you just heat it up and you seal them. And then if you have any issues with like dryness or anything like that, honestly, I just use Orly Bonder to kind of combat that. And some people use steam to revive them. I have done that. It has worked well. I use this little thing, which I'm going to actually turn on right now because it is a little cool in this house. It is a, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the book for now because I don't know if I'm going to need another one of it. So for this one, see, I already have the top coat. Look at how shiny and nice that strengthener is on there, guys. And you can see there is you can feel a little bit of the ridge here of where the patch is, but my hope is that it's not that noticeable. There is a little bit of an edge there that I'm going to go ahead and trim with this guy here. So I don't want that edge catching. And I'm just going to file that a little bit. Okay. So that way it won't catch. All right. So I haven't put it on the other ones yet because I want to use the like wetness of it just a little bit to get the strengthener on. Now, it does tell you to completely let it completely dry. If you have an older set, you might not be able to do that. So with this one, I am going to let it dry almost completely. I'm taking off because this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to take this off. Now you have the polish exposed. One thing you definitely want to do is you want to avoid getting constantly touching the back of the polish. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that on there. I use this stick here to kind of clean off the edges with the liquid because I'm not a good liquid polish person. So I'm just letting that dry. I don't really want to do my next one, although you could. If you want to just go ahead and do them all first and then apply them, you can do that. I might do that. We'll see. We'll try this out first time's sake. And that's the thing. You kind of experiment and see what works best for you. Okay. It does dry fast. So you can see it's a little less shiny, more tacky. So that's when I'm gonna make my move with this guy here. So I'm gonna take that, see it's clear. So I'm gonna make sure to use the anchor method so I'm not touching it a lot. See, this is why I didn't want to do the other one because I'm afraid it's gonna hit. So line it up. So then I would use this to kind of push in the edges here. I'm gonna make sure that it's making contact with my nail plate. Stretch it a little bit at the edge so there's no wrinkles. Stretch it a little bit at the end so you can see kind of the glitter with it. It is a very beautiful color. I'm glad I decided to go with it. All right, and so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Just a little bit over the nail so I can stretch it and kind of fold it under like that. Use your little micro fiber cloth to kind of push it in there, not leave any fingerprints. Especially, you want to make sure that you're especially getting the tips, the like tips of your nails really pushed in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the other one in. So with this one, we're gonna take off this tab. Okay. I need to move it down a little bit. Okay. All right. So I have it on there. I'm gonna take my little cuticle silicone plastic cuticle stick. You can get these so cheap, like a lot of them. And it is, I would say it is worth, I mean, granted you get a bunch of them from me from samples, but I would say it is worth getting them just so you have a bunch of them around because they're very useful for a variety of different things. So as you can see, I have it. I want to make sure that it's everywhere on the nail plate and everything. And I put it on there and now you don't want to, I've made the mistake, don't want to push too hard that it hurts. You just want to make sure that it's on there good, that you kind of push, and you don't want it to be too in there in a sense. Okay, so now that it's over here, I'm actually going to go ahead and start cleaning up. So one of my things that I do to clean up is I will use my nails to kind of do that. So the main thing is you don't want to push like this into the nail because you can rip it from the plate. You want to kind of get underneath it or push like down towards the nail. So you just want to make that separation. And like I said, this kind of, you develop this stuff as you go with it. Now you can, like I said, you can also use the tool. I need to tuck this in a little bit, the edges. You can also use your tool, which is one of my favorite, because you just kind of push down along the edges and it comes off. And then you can use your tweezers to very easily take it off. That's how easy it is, guys. And again, don't be discouraged. You master it as you go along. Everyone, like my application has definitely gotten significantly better since I've been doing more and more manis. So I'm going to be working on this side now. I'm using my nails to do the initial cut. Control. Now, this is pretty stuck on there, so I'm going to just make sure there's really good contact with the nail before I go in there with my tool. So once I have that separation, sometimes it's hard to see, especially with this clear. So you don't want to pull anything that's still stuck with your nail, because then you can rip it from your nail bed. I mean, from your nail plate. But we can always fix stuff. That's why there's Tokyo Lights. Fixes everything. So that kind of allows you to get that clean edge. So there are my pinkies. Doo-doo-doo-doo, to start with, all right? Now, these already have a coat, but I am gonna put another one on to make it a little tackier for me. So, and also give extra scaffolding on there. Oops. Rub that one right off. To try to clean off the edge. All right. All right, I'm only going to do one nail at a time because it is really awkward to try to not mess this one up while I'm doing that. So it will take a little bit longer. Like I said, it's a different way that you can do this process. You can do your entire hands and put the strengthener on and then just have your nails be naked for a day and then do your application mani the next day. You can do them all, wait till they're dry, and then do your application the same day. So it is really up to you. But I do love how these look just by themselves, and you can see how healthy they look. All right, so my ring finger is this one. You can kind of use this too. I use that a lot to do my woolly bonder. Just want it to be a little less, not like as wet looking. Okay, so then I just take this, put it on there. Sometimes I want to move it up higher so I have like a better like hold on it. So you want to make sure you get close to the cuticle without actually like being on it. So I've been stretching it way too much. So I got to commit to this here. But I can make it work. That's the one thing about it being on wet polish. But you can make it work. Stretch it over. Stretch it over the tip, and then, you know, especially as your nail's growing, you want to give it just a little more so you can wrap it underneath and take it off. And that's why I like the curved scissors for that. All right, so then after that, I just kind of use my cloth to kind of smooth everything out the edges, make sure there's really good contact with everything. All right. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to move on to the next one. So now again, this one already has a coat, so I'm going to just do just a little thin one just to give it a little bit, especially around the tip and the break area, because I really want to make sure that the strip will stick there really well. Now you can stretch the strip just a little bit when you know your nail bed's a little bit wider. Just be careful with your fingerprints and stuff. Well, that kind of happened there, didn't it? I am really loving the glitter. So I wasn't going to do this. I was thinking about undercover. I was thinking about have a ball, because a lot of people have done this. I have wanted to do it. It is really pretty. I do have a lot of American sets. I wonder if this is even gonna be long enough. Barely. Oops. Might have a boo-boo. It's alright. Actually, I don't even know why I'm worried so much about the tip, because in all honesty, right guys, it's gonna have a French tip. Alright, so that one didn't go as well as I would have liked, but doesn't mean we can't fix it. So you can feel it a little bit, but you can't really tell that I have that patch on there for the break. So that's the good thing. And then we can just use this to kind of smooth it out even more so. Okay, so then let's clean this one up. That underneath there. Love that curve aspect of it. So that's still attached. I'm not gonna pull that one yet. So another thing that you can do when they're like that and they're like just small enough that you can't quite get it. Where is it? That's when you come out 90 degrees to the nail. And this is something that we were gonna do anyway over the nail. This is just because it wasn't coming off. Then you just get it and voila. What's that now? Now this one's definitely something that I'm gonna need to use a file for, because it's very short. So then we're gonna do the file. Down 90 degrees. And you're gonna see that it's gonna become disconnected there. And like I said, you can put Glittersweet on without any tools, but tools do have a tendency of helping you get your application like more perfected. Especially if you have short nails, tools will be a must. Okay. So I got that one. Okay, let me do this one. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do this one first then. This one is my middle finger, so it's gonna have the bigger one here. Really easy to apply, dries quick. I really love the strengthener. It is kind of acting like a little bit like Oily Bonder. I do love the tackiness of Oily Bonder. What I'll probably do in the future is most likely have a day where I just have the strengthener on with no nail strips. And then the next day, use Oily Bonder as my second base coat. So now I know I'll have plenty of this one left because this nail broke, and so it's short, definitely shorter than all the other ones. So I get it on the base there, stretch the sides, stretch the sides, stretch the tip. Kind of like push it into my cuticle. So then what I do is I do my little cut. Make sure I'm leaving plenty for my other nail. Flip that over so it's not catching on there. Okay, that looks good. Bend that under. All right, next nail. This is the one that I have like the big patch on. Definitely want to make sure I'm getting plenty on that patch area. Oh my gosh. Pull the tab off. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit. So that one went on well. Looks good. And then I'm just gonna make sure there's good contact everywhere. Okay. There's a lot of side extra because it was a bigger strip, but Make sure you're pulling gently so you don't pull any from the actual nail plate. Here, I want to make sure I have that broken up. So that when I pulled this little chunk, it's by itself. Okay. So I'm trimming with my nails, but then I'm going to come in with my tools and very gently kind of start to just push in as perpendicular as I can to try to break that connection. Then I get the tweezers and I see, okay, where is the connection breaking? Good. Good. And there's some there. Oh, I got that. It's almost like you're trying to get like underneath the nails, but gently, always gently. It's gonna be definitely a tweezer. Okay. I'm definitely happy with the results, I'm not gonna lie. You have a little bit of a little ingrown little hang down right here. Just be careful not to get the strips if you're doing that. Okay, so 6 done. So as you know, we've been doing them, and our nails have probably, our fingertips have probably gotten greasy, so I'm gonna use another one of these little patches things to that. Now these don't have strengthener on them, so I'm gonna put the strengthener on them. Which I'm really putting on the tips. I made a little boo-boo, but I fixed it. Alrighty. Okay, so let that one wait. Yeah, so most likely as I grow my nails, I'm gonna just grow them just long enough to be long enough, but so I can still use double the strips. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch this one a little bit. But this one doesn't really matter as much because the French tip is gonna cover, but it did fine. Pushing it into the nail plate. Okay, it's perfect. So yes, I'm just gonna this little bit here on the edge. You can also clean these edges up at the end after you put the top coat on and everything with acetone. I know I'm doing acetone, but when you're cleaning up the edges with a little brush and acetone, it's the easiest thing to do. And it's also not a lot of exposure. You're not soaking your skin or anything like that on there, and then you just, you know. balance it out with some good old cuticle oil. You know, wash your hands, cuticle oil, and all that good stuff. It's done, but that's what we do. Look at all that excess polish. Excess over here. That's why I love this tweezers. You can get in those little spaces and get those last little bits. All right, and then this one. You want to definitely gently stretch your strips because that helps with the wrinkling. We can't really tell here, but so before I take that, I'm going to use my nail file and just voila. All right, now for my thumbs. Just the shape I want. Thumb. This, having a little area where you keep all of your little remnants, this helps to keep it organized and clean, and you don't accidentally like put a patch of nail polish on a nail or something. I've done it. All right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a second one of these, but for now, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to do a gentle stretch to just kind of, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. Okay. I would tell you that strengthener is really nice as a base layer, not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna cut, so I'm gonna cut as close as I can to the nail just because I need as much length as I can for my longer nail. It's gonna be tight. We'll see. All right. Pushing it into the sides, into the back. It's obviously more forgiving because it's glitter. Actually, just go ahead and trim it. There you go, guys. A perfect thumbnail. I'm loving it. Okay. Now for my bigger nail, we'll see. Okay. Somebody's gonna have to get her ears clean. All right, so there is my big nail, my nice nail. All right, so I'm gonna take this, put it here. I'm gonna do a little, take that off, and I'm gonna just do a little stretch to kind of get it ready. I did put a little too close to the cuticle. I think that if I hadn't, there probably would have been more that I could have stretched. So this is a clear glitter, so you're not gonna see a stop gap right there where it is. The main thing is that I'm gonna have a French tip, so I'm not too worried about that. But I can just gently, to just get the little bit of nail that doesn't have any polish on it, just kind of push it forward very gently to not rip it, because it is stretchy. And then you can do the same with this guy here. It's kind of stretch it. And you can like barely tell that there is some there. So then of course I would use my tool because I don't want to use my nails that I just had done. I'm going to make sure there's an edge here. Hey, Scruffy. Hey! Don't make me throw something at you. Oh, what are you huffing and puffing? Get over here. So this is my base layer. I will stop this video and then show you guys the thing, but I gotta take them out and check in on my neighbors. So that's the thing about Color Sheet that I love, is you can have any stopping point you want as you're doing your manis. If you need a snack. And also, guys, I really want to show you this outside so you can appreciate its beautifulness. I know I told you not to use it now, then I use it, but it's a little bit. Okay, now it's time for the file. And there you go, guys. Glittersweet on my nails. Obviously it took a little long because I did the patch and everything. Yes, you can see my little mark on there. And it's interesting because I actually have pictures with that mark like all the way down here, so you can actually see the nail growth. Excuse me. I have the patches on these two. You can't notice it. I'm gonna go out and take the dogs out real quick to go potty, and I will show you guys kind of what it looks like out there in the sun. But I'm not done with my mani yet because obviously I need to do the French part of it. So that's gonna be the next part. Okie dokie.